Hello, everybody. So in light of the up and coming holiday, I would like to talk to you guys about Christmas, where that came from, and just some details about that and why Christian is not necessarily aligned with biblical accuracy. Okay, so is December 25th actually Jesus' birthday? Almost certain that it's not. Okay, so why scholars even say this in the first place is the Bible never gives a specific date for Jesus' birth. Shepherds were in the fields at night in Luke 2, which fits spring or early fall time, not winter. Because December would be cold, rainy in Judea. And flocks were unusually sheltered. Were usually sheltered. So why did they pick December 25th? Well, the Roman sun festivals in Saturnalia in December 17th to the 23rd had feasting, gift-giving, parties, role reversal, which was the role reversal where Natalis Solus died. And that was on December 25th, the birthday of the unconquered sun in the Mithras, who was a popular god of the Romans, was said to be born December 25th when Christianity became legal in the 4th century. So church leaders actually chose to rebrand a popular pagan date instead of trying to erase it. They used Jesus, the light of the world, with the sun symbology because it fit easily. Okay, so why do pastors still preach Christmas even though they know this? As you know, we worship in spirit and truth, so we're not going to go ahead and, preach that wrong. We're going to preach the truth of it, okay? So because different pastors approach it differently. Tradition and culture says that Christmas is deeply embedded in society. It's not something to easily change. There's a teaching opportunity to focus on the incarnation, right? God with us, and not the date. Church growth and unity, removing Christmas could cause some division, and symbolism over accuracy, right? Many view it as a celebration, not history. And some pastors do openly admit that it's not Jesus's birthday. Many simply don't explain the origins fully. So where did Santa even come from? Layers of Santa's origins are as follows. So there's St. Nicholas in the 4th century. He was a real Christian bishop in modern day Turkey, known for generosity to children and the poor. Sinterklaas in Netherlands was a white bearded man. He was a gift giver who arrived in wintertime. The Norse Odin flew through the sky during the solstice and children left boots out for gifts. Modern Santa was the final image solidified by Coca-Cola ads in the 1930s, okay? So Santa's folklore is marketing, not biblical. Reindeers, elves, and flying sleds, where did that come from? Paganism, okay? Pagan and folkloric roots. So elves were Norse Germanic nature spirits. Reindeer are Arctic, shamanic, and Scandinavian culture. Flying animals had to do with Otis and the 8-legged horse sleeping. The worship at the North Pole came from the modern myth and industrial fantasy. These have zero biblical connections whatsoever. Is there a connection between Jesus and all of this? Yes, there is a connection, but it's not historical. It's historical, not theological. What happened? So pagan winter festivals were already beloved. Christianity absorbed and reinterpreted them for Jesus' story, was layered on top and replaced older meanings, which was called religious synchronism. Okay? So celebrating Jesus isn't endorsing pagan origins. Many Christians today celebrate Christ, intentionally ignore Satan or Satan. They ignore Santa mythology or choose not to celebrate Christian Christmas at all, which is also valid, because the Bible never commands Christmas observance. Okay, so just a quick little, insight about that. That being said, I hope you guys' holiday is great. You celebrate it how you want. If you choose to, have a gift-giving day and you want to choose to remember Jesus and his birth story during that time, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But do not condemn others for not knowing that that's not, that day is supposed to be about Jesus, when that day, in fact, was never, ever about Jesus. Nor was it biblically aligned, biblically accurate, or came from biblical roots. Okay, so just make sure you guys know your research, worship in spirit and truth. That being said, you guys have a blessed one. Stay blessed, never stressed, with much peace, much power, much love, much light, and of course,